Central Bank of Nigeria moves to cap banks' forex speculation, issues guidelines. Exchange rate closes at January 2024 at 1,455 naira 59 kobo per dollar at the official market. Plus, oil post first monthly gain since September as Middle East on brink of wider conflict. Our discussion is on efforts at reducing the high cost of living while promoting the ease of doing business in Nigeria. And we have with us in the studio, joining us later, is Dr. Emmanuel Abusin. He is the CEO, Trema Agro Services Limited, and Executive Director, Pan-African Institute of Agribusiness Management. The program is Business Express, reaching you from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. I am Benny Adams, your guide. Good to have you join us at this time, and it's that time we talk business. I'll start by telling you that the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, says he has proposed a 40 billion intervention fund to the President for enhancing airport operations. He made this known in an interview where he revealed the federal government's strategies for improving airport infrastructure and efficiency on Wednesday, adding that the President was in sync with the idea of procuring state-of-the-art gadgets and equipment for the airports with focus on international airports to elevate their efficiency and customer satisfaction. Keyamo, however, noted that the federal government is yet to release the funds. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria has issued a new circular that removes the previous cap on exchange rates quoted by international money transfer operations. This follows a circular issued by the Central Bank addressing suspected cases of excessive foreign currency speculation and hoarding from Nigerian banks. The circular marks a shift towards a more liberalized foreign exchange regime in Nigeria. Meanwhile, the Central Bank of Nigeria has released a new circular addressing suspected cases of excessive foreign currency speculation and hoarding of Nigerian banks. The new circular introduces a set of guidelines aimed at reducing the risks associated with these practices. The circular, titled Harmonization of Reporting Requirements on Foreign Currency Exposures of Banks, highlights the CBN's concerns over the growing trend of banks holding large foreign currency positions. The Naira gained slightly against the dollar on a Wednesday. That was the 31st January 2024 at the official market after it plunged to a record low of 1,482 naira 57 kobo per dollar. The previous day, the domestic currency appreciated 1.85% to close at 1,455 naira 59 kobo to a dollar on the last day of the month, according to data from the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Market, where Forex is officially traded. Now, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has inspected the ongoing work on access roads to the metro station ahead of a May project deadline.
Is that we want to fulfill the promise we have made to Mr. President and the residents of Abuja that God willing, everything being equal, we use the metro line. And for me, it is a major breakthrough so that this can reduce the influx of vehicles to the city, and it's going to help us a lot. When we did the supplementary national budget, we included what we call emergency. And so these roads come under the emergency. And like I said before, that the Minister of Finance has released 50% of what is provided. And we're also going to make sure that we also make the same provision in our 2024 statutory budget. So that if the fund in the national budget is not enough, then we complement with what is in the statutory budget.
Now take a look at the commodities market. Gold prices gain as traders assess hopes for sizable Fed cut rate. Let's now see how other commodities are trading around the world. Now oil prices posted the first monthly gain since September as the U.S. and Iran stand on the brink of a more direct confrontation in the Middle East. U.S. crude and the global benchmark Brent rose 5.86% and 6.06% in January, though prices fell Wednesday after China factory activity contracted for the fourth consecutive month. The West Texas Intermediate crude contract for March fell $1.97 to settle at $75.85 a barrel. The Brent contract for March settled at $81.71 a barrel, down $1.16. Now, ahead of the World Trade Organization's 13th Ministerial Conference holding in Abu Dhabi in February, countries around the world are concluding deposition of instruments of acceptance on their agreement that seeks to address subsidies to overcapacity and overfishing on continental waters.
Members have committed to concluding these negotiations at MC13, so our work is very much cut out for us.
Every single one brings us nearer to ratification, and I also agree that once we get the protocol ratified and accepted, they can apply to the fish fund for resources to strengthen their fisheries management capacity and enable them to implement the agreement. So this is a very good move.
Now we take a break. Business Express continues in a moment. Talking about the ease of doing business in Nigeria, the scarcity of foreign exchange has also continued to hit hard on the economy as well. However, so urgently institute measures to mitigate the soaring cost of living and escalating operating and production costs for businesses. The National Economic Council some time ago set up an ad hoc committee on how to alleviate the suffering faced by Nigerians following the removal of fuel subsidy. Now, businesses are not exempted from the headwind as operational costs spike out of control on a daily basis. With the ad hoc committee on ground, what are the expected measures to cushion the harsh economy situation and provide a conducive environment for businesses to thrive? With me to discuss this, joining me via telephone, is Dr. Emmanuel Abusan. He is the CEO, Tremor Agro Services Limited, Executive Director, Pan-African Institute of Agribusiness Management. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you so much, Ben. Good morning. It's nice joining you.
Okay, great. Doctor, I'd love to have you in here, but thank God for technology. Well, looking at the issues, the commentary on the streets, the cost of living is skyrocketing almost on a daily basis. Inflation is, will I say, the culprit, but we're talking about an inflation rate of 25.12%, though projections by both the World Bank, the IMF, NASG in Nigeria, and other development partners have said we're looking forward to seeing how inflation is going to reduce to like 21.4%. But amid all of this, amid the scarcity in Forex, how is it affecting agribusiness and what is the way to go?
All right, so when you look at agribusiness, the ecosystem, the more challenge is the cost of production. So when you look at the cost of production, it's high. Then cost of logistics, because of the high price in fuel, cost of logistics is very high. So if all of these parameters are put together, it's affecting a smallholder farmer, right from the village. It's affecting our chain of production. We would also look at interactive power supply. So if all of these things are harmonized in a place, you'll see that our production is being affected. And when production is affected, it's going to also affect the cost of products in the market. So cost of fertilizer. Now, most of the things are imported. So our forex is very high. The naira to dollar today is skyrocketing at the black market. The official rate is quite not too okay. So this is affecting everything in the market, especially agriculture. Agriculture in Nigeria still depends solely on most of these foreign importations for us to produce. And what we're producing locally is not even enough for consumption. Then we talk about exportation. So the prices, the price of everything, skyrocketing, inflation and cost of production, cost of fuel, cost of forex exchange is high. So it's affecting everything we're doing at the moment.
Okay, having said that, or having established the challenges, yes, we understand that the ongoing reforms, talking about efforts at diversifying the economy, talking about the non-oil sector being boosted for more production for us to get exports and get foreign exchange, as well as unification of the unnecessary reforms that are ongoing. Yes, the impact, well, I say the gains might not just come immediately, but in a short and medium term, we expected these gains. But from the experiences, you've been around other economies in Africa, talking about Rwanda, what is that to learn that we can borrow a leaf from to kind of mitigate some of these immediate challenges being faced in the marketplace today in Nigeria?
Okay, so one of the challenges we're facing currently now, we need to look at price control. So in Rwanda, we have more price control. So the price control help in mitigating price hikes. Because let's say, for example, during the Naira cashless policy before the elections, the POS operators were the one determining the price. So they'll tell you they are going to give you this amount at this particular price. Until some state governments, like especially Lagos state government, had to step into the matter to control price. So we need to look at price control. However, some of these solutions have their own positive and negative sides. But from impact, we could say, okay, maybe this is working. Then we can also we build on that. Then another thing is strengthening our production, our local production. Then most of the reforms we have, we also look at let's say, for example, the ban of crypto, for example, at the point has its own effect on the economy. Then after the ban of the crypto was the introduction of e-naira to strengthen blockchain technology in Nigeria. So when some of these policies have been introduced, it has its way to affect the economy. It has its way to affect foreign exchange. Then rolling down again, we look at, if I'm going to take an example from Rwanda, we look at security. So the security measures are fine. So it gives investors a level of trust on our economy that, okay, they are coming to invest and they are going to be protected. So at the moment, one of the things that is affecting our policy has to do with the environment, our business environment, the ease of doing business in Nigeria, the trust of doing business in Nigeria. Then again, you look at corruption. If I take my example back to Rwanda again, it's a country that vehemently fight against corruption. It openly fight against corruption, secretly fight against corruption. So everybody's careful. So all of these things has its impact on our economy. And these things must be addressed. If you don't want to play politics and want to do real business, that when we mean business to save the Nigerian economy.
Yeah, that's a good one there. But you also agree with me that talking about price control, for it to be effective, it has to also follow the forces of demand and supply. But having said that, what are the policies do you think can promote domestic food production, aside the security which has been put in place to allow farmers go back to their farmlands? How about increasing productivity and deployment of technology in ensuring that a piece of land is well utilized to get the desired output from there to boost production?
Okay, so when we take a look at our agricultural ecosystem, one of the things you're going to look at is that the smallholder farmers form a very good percentage of our farming population in Nigeria. So if this is looked into, technology adoption in this particular target market or this particular target people becomes the necessity. Now, when we look at empowerment in Africa, in Nigeria, when we look at empowerment, we are more of giving facilities that limit the mind frame of young people. And then when you talk about food security, the future of food security in Nigeria is youth participation in agriculture. And when youth is going to participate in agriculture, then we're going to be talking about technology, financial inclusion. And these are the areas we need to now look at the triangle for empowerment of this particular sector. So you look at the mental empowerment, you look at the social empowerment, then you look at the financial empowerment. So this triangle will give us the success we are looking for. So technology adoption is not what we're going to be joking about. We need to have a level of investment in technology. Then also, technology is also interlinked with telecommunications, that's internet. We have a lot of digital banks today that all you need is an internet and a mobile phone to be able to have an account, especially areas that have no or little bank facilities. There are many, like for example, I'm from Kogi State. There are a number of local governments that don't have financial institutions, like no commercial bank, no microfinance bank in a whole local government. So we need to invest on technological infrastructure. So these infrastructures are what will motivate young people to get into agriculture. And at the same time, we are not talking about financial empowerment. Now, financial empowerment is not about giving these farmers tricycles or motorcycles or cutlass and hoe fertilizers that we're empowering them. No. We need to do empowerment, real empowerment. Agriculture in Nigeria is driven by manpower. Meanwhile, agriculture in other clients of this world is being driven by technology, is being driven by machineries. Then we also talk about farm clustering, which is some of the initiatives we're trying to introduce to some states, like Plateau State, for example, Kaduna State, Taraba, then also part of Kogi State. So when we do farm clustering, when we bring the farmers into cluster, we can be able to empower them massively for them to become effective, to enhance productivity. So this is where we can go around this agriculture in Nigeria to become more profiting and also ensuring food security.
Okay, Dr. Abusin, some of the suggestions you've brought forward at this point, you agree with me, are long term, though some are kind of medium term. But what do you think should be done in the immediate, talking about incentives to kind of promote production at this level?
Okay, so think the Ministry of Agriculture currently opened up a PPA with private, that is public-private partnership, to enhance the purchase of tractors, which is something it's going to be some are going to be immediate, some are going to be long-term. But for this interim, Nigeria is already having a level of intervention for immediate solutions. However, our immediate solutions also to look at impact, long-term impact, and also look at long-term plans in terms of capacity building for these farmers. I think the one we can achieve urgently is this farm clustering. These farmers are already farmers that have lands in where they have respective lands they are using or their own, and they're farming at the moment. So people at the same farm area can be clustered together. Now this is going to be of immediate results. So when we cluster them, this coming farm season, we introduce mechanizations. So this instead of manpower, so we're now driving this force to become cooperatives. Now, I think one of the challenges with cooperatives in Nigeria is that when we say let's form cooperative, an average Nigerian man feels like, okay, there's a federal government intervention, international intervention that want to bring money. So these farmers now bring in their family members as cooperatives, and because it is one man driving the cooperative, it becomes ineffective. But when we have real farmers, again, coming back to data, the need for data. So we have these clusters of farmers, and we introduce mechanization. So they move from manpower, the same resources they need for producing their 1 hectare, 1 acre, on all of the things. This thing can be mobbed together. These resources can be mobbed together. Then hire a tractor that will farm for them holistically, throwing an EOP. Now, so this can help us achieve some immediate results. Farm clustering for immediate results. Then again, interventions as in terms of input, from the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, partnership input. When we have good input with the level of control price, farmers can be able to assess these things. Or the loans given to farmers should not be in cash, but should be in terms of input by banks. Let's say the Sterling Bank, any of these commercial banks we can look into giving farmers as input. So when they have input, we'll not hear the story of, okay, they got loan for farming, they got to get married, they married more wives, they spent it on things that it was not originally meant for. So if some of those things are put together, I think that we might be able to drive results for a short term.
Okay, Dr. Abutu, before I let you go, you've actually said interventions, particularly a whole lot of those that come from the CBN and other agri interventions, should not come in form of cash, but in form of inputs to boost production. And now, where is the place of reforms in these clusters, reforms in these cooperatives, would be cooperatives, to boost capacity?
All right. So some of the reforms, like if you look at, we have so many agencies in Nigeria at the moment. We look at Smeden. Smeden have an agricultural department that look at agriculture. So some of these agencies, we can do what we call cross-sectional collaborations, where the Ministry of Agriculture collaborates with the Ministry of Investment. For example, we have FACAN, that is Federation of Agricultural Commodity Associations of Nigeria, FACAN, which is under the Ministry of Investment. So most of these commodity associations are under the Ministry of Investment. We also have the Ministry of Humanitarian and Poverty Elevation. Now, poverty elevation in Nigeria, if you're going to elevate poverty, then farmers become our ultimate target, because most of our population in this poverty line are farmers. So when we have a cross-sectional collaboration with all of these agencies, we can be able to bring out a workable policy that empowers these farmers directly, and then the clustering become more effective, because every of these sections, every of these agencies have ambient data they can work by, so that when they are drafting policies, they are trying to implement their policies, it can be targeted to achieve results. Then we can also have the monitoring and evaluation to monitor and evaluate our impact. What we've done this year, what is the level of impact? Let's say, for example, the Akobra program, was there impact? Is our impact more than the disadvantage? Should we continue? What should we reduce? What should we add? So when these things are put into consideration, we are going to be able to have results, not just policies. Nigerian, I can still tell you that Nigerian.
Thank you very much, Dr. Abusan. It's not just about the policies, it's about implementation. It's not just about talking, it's about walking the talk. Thank you very much for your contribution at this point in time. We'll get to continue this conversation as time permits.
Thank you.
Now, investors lost 1.07 trillion naira as the old share index declined by 1.90%, marking it the second day, as of yesterday, second day of decline. Then the market capitalization also recorded a loss of 1.07 trillion naira. The total volume traded advanced by 15.44% to close at 749.13 million, valued at 22.4 billion, while the market capitalization was 55.3 trillion naira. Well, with this, we wrap Business Express. Keep a date with us tomorrow for a fresh edition.